All right, let's talk about a huge strategic shift that's happening in boardrooms everywhere. It's what we're calling the custom software revolution. We're moving past just buying off-the-shelf tools and into a new era of building powerful, unique digital advantages.
So let's kick things off with a really fundamental question for you. Think about your own business. Is the technology you use just a tool that helps you get the job done? Or is it a strategic weapon that's actually helping you win? That very question is at the heart of this massive change in how companies think about software.
And this quote right here, it just nails the core of the problem. When everyone in your industry uses the exact same software, you're all kind of forced to work the same way. You end up in this sea of sameness where it becomes incredibly, almost impossibly difficult to stand out from the crowd. But look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a multi-billion-dollar reality. The market itself is sending an unmistakable signal that this shift is real and it's happening right now. So, let's dig into the numbers.
I want you to really let that number sink in for a second. $334 billion. That's where some of the most aggressive forecasts put the custom software market by 2034. We're not talking about a little bit of growth here. This is a radical transformation of an entire industry.
Now, what's so fascinating here isn't just one of these numbers. It's the story they all tell together. You've got 4 different major research firms, and they're all pointing in the exact same direction. Absolute explosive growth. We're seeing compound annual growth rates hitting as high as 22.7%. That is a loud, clear, data-backed signal of a massive shift in where the smart money is going.
And hey, don't think for a second this is just a North American thing. While it's true that North America leads the pack right now with about a third of the market, the fastest growth, the real explosion, is happening in the Asia-Pacific region. We're talking a projected growth rate of over 25%. This is a global movement for sure.
Okay, so we've seen the what, this massive market shift towards custom solutions. But that naturally leads to the most important question, why? Why is all of this happening right now? Well, it really boils down to 2 fundamental forces that are colliding.
On one side, you have digital transformation finally coming of age. It's not a buzzword anymore. For most successful companies, it's a core business function. And on the other side, technology itself has become democratized. It's cheaper, it's more accessible, and it's empowering smaller, more agile companies to compete in ways they just couldn't a decade ago.
See, real digital transformation isn't about buying a new app. It's about fundamentally re-engineering how your business operates. Custom software is the engine that drives this. It lets you automate the unique workflows that actually make you competitive, leading to some incredible efficiency gains. We're talking 20 to 40%. It lets you embed advanced tech like AI right into the heart of your operations.
And you know what's pouring gasoline on this fire? The cloud. It has been an absolute game changer. It's now powering over 58% of the entire custom software market because it completely removes the need for those huge, expensive, upfront investments in servers and all that physical infrastructure.
This is huge for small and mid-sized enterprises, or SMEs. It lets them shift their spending from a massive capital expense, a CapEx, to a much more manageable, scalable operational expense, an OpEx. You add to that the explosion of low-code platforms, which Gartner predicts will be used for 70% of new apps by 2025, and suddenly, smaller companies can build incredibly powerful custom solutions without needing a massive budget.
Okay, this all sounds great, but what about the money? Let's put on our CFO hat for a minute and really look at the classic build versus buy decision from a purely financial perspective.
It's so easy to get drawn in by that shiny, low upfront price of off-the-shelf software, right? But honestly, that's a misleading number. It's bait. The real story, the one your CFO needs to see, is the total cost of ownership, the TCO, which factors in all the hidden long-term expenses that sneak up on you.
So you have to remember, that sticker price is just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath the surface, you've got those never-ending licensing fees that actually punish you for growing. You've got expensive, complicated integrations, you've got the risk of getting locked into one vendor, and my favorite, process debt. All that lost productivity from your team having to create clunky workarounds just because the software doesn't quite fit how they actually work. So when you lay it all out like this, the strategic choice becomes crystal clear. On one side, off-the-shelf software forces you into process parity. You're just doing things the same way as everybody else. But on the other side, custom software is this proprietary, defensible asset that's built just for you, giving you a real, lasting competitive advantage.
Okay, so the why is clear, the logic is solid, but the big question is how do you actually do this? How do you get started? Let's move from the strategy to a practical, actionable blueprint for success.
The most important thing to get is that modern software development isn't some giant, scary, multi-year bet anymore. It's done using what's called an Agile methodology. This just means you break the big project into small, manageable cycles called sprints. So instead of waiting years for one big launch, you get working, functional pieces of software every few weeks. It's transparent, it's flexible, and it massively de-risks the financial investment.
And getting started doesn't have to be this overwhelming thing. It really comes down to 3 simple steps. First, you do a quick audit to find where your current generic software is causing the most headaches. Second, you run the numbers on the true cost of those tools, using that TCO model we talked about. And finally, and this is key, you don't try to boil the ocean. You pick one high-impact pilot project. This lets you prove the value, prove the ROI quickly, and build the momentum you need for bigger changes down the road.
So we'll end with this one final thought. In an age where your digital capability really defines your success, the choice becomes pretty clear, doesn't it? Are you going to keep renting your most critical business processes from a software vendor, forced to play by their rules? Are you going to build and own the very digital asset that will define your competitive future?